Hey everyone, it's Rachel and I'm here with another process video. Today I'm going to be using my June 2017 Clique Kit, which is filled with Cocoa Vanilla's Wild at Heart. Now, I thought I'd also use a little bit of mixed media, just a little bit. I'll show you the pictures I'm doing. I've got a whole bunch of 3x4 cards here, so my pictures are getting lost in them. Alright, I've got 1 4x6 and 3 3x4s. So there isn't a ton of room. I'm just making a 12x12. So there isn't a ton of room for a lot of mixed media. So I did kind of want to think about where I wanted my photos to go in order to make sure my mixed media doesn't end up all being covered rather than just mostly being covered, which is what I usually do. So I'm thinking I'm definitely going to be using this B-side of Mariposa from the Wild at Heart collection. I definitely think I love this paper and I want to use it, and I think I'm going to go with like a kind of loosey-goosey kind of layout. And don't worry, I'm going to go on to fast forward. I just wanted to choose the reason I wanted to talk first is I wanted to show you the bread that he made gets sliced from the top, and I'll go into the story of this layout when I go into fast forward. But I think, and this is Goldmine Textures from Shimmer's Paints. I think I'm trying to decide where I want this to go. I want to stretch it across all of these. And then do I want it just right there, or do I want to do it down here too? Well, I definitely think I want to do it down here too. Yeah. Okay. Alright folks, I'm going to go ahead and get you on fast forward so I can start doing this. Don't forget that it does get louder with my voiceover, so just be prepared to change your volume if you need to. Alright folks, see you in a bit. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, I don't know if I mentioned, this stencil is from the Crafters Workshop. I've had it for a couple of years now, so I don't know where you can pick it up, or even if they still make it anymore. I'm going to go ahead and get my textures down in 2 spots. Once I do this, I'm going to go ahead and let it dry. You can hit it with the heat tool. I just let it air dry because I actually had to go do something anyways. So the important part is once you use texture paste on a stencil, you need to go and clean that and your little scrapey thing up right away, or you will have cemented stencils because that stuff will not come off. So just make sure you go right ahead and clean it up. And I just use warm water and paper towel and it comes right off. So yay, awesome, cool. Okay, so we're going to leave and come back, and now it's all dry and yay me, and I'm going to go ahead and get the branding strip off. And this is going to be my main back paper. I'm going to add a little bit of pattern paper, but and a little bit of the pocketed scrapbooking cards that are exclusive to the Clique Kit. I was trying to figure out how to say that, because they're not Project Life, they're just pocketed scrapbooking. I'm going to trim off that little label cut apart piece, and I'm going to use that for my journaling. I'm going to back the main photo with a 4x6 card off center, and then I'm also going to use some pattern paper on it in a little bit. I'm also cutting out this piece that says happiness right here. This project was a school project that my nephew did. He worked really hard on it. It was a lot of both hard work, research, and then also hard work. Actually, obviously he made something. So he was very happy with how it turned out, and yada yada, so on and so forth. So he was super happy right there. So I start the photos laid out like this. I do take another 3x4 card and do an offset matte on the other photo with like where you see his face. And here's where I'm going to back the photo with this multicolor polka dot piece. All of the paper, all the full 12x12 papers are from Cocoa Vanilla Wild at Heart. And then the pocketed page pieces, oh my goodness, I don't know why I had such a hard time with that, are Clique Kit exclusives. Sorry, had to stop. It is Saturday morning here. It actually is July 8th. It's going up on July 8th. I'm going to record the voiceover and then just put it on YouTube. But unfortunately, because it was July 4th this week, we get our garbage collected on Friday mornings, but because of the holiday, it was collected on Saturday morning, and so I've got garbage trucks going up and down my street, so I had to pause for a bit. Alright, I cut down those 2 3x4 photos that just show his hands, basically just so I could see some more of the mixed media, because I liked this way of having the photos laid out rather than the way I had it before. I took another cut apart that says "Love Every Minute" and I added that along with the happiness right here. And now I'm going through the die cuts and the other pieces that came in the Clique Kit and just seeing what might work. I pull out that flare that says "Follow Your Dreams," and then a little die cut that has a little pointer thing and it says "Today," along with a couple of the stars, and I'm thinking about using those photo corners, but honestly I couldn't find all 4. And I consider using that star for a bit, but it's just too big for the amount of photos I already have on this layout. I pull out that Hello Rubber Charm along with the Dream Big die cut, and I'm looking for smaller pieces because I've got a lot of bigger pieces already. And I also pull out, I had cut off the corners of that marble piece of paper that came in the kit, and I thought, oh, I'll put that as a layer of little cluster I'm going to do in the corner, and in a little bit I'm going to reconsider and end up adding all 4 corners. I'm thinking, oh, I'll do the photo corners, and then I'll do the 4 corners with that marble piece of paper, and it'll also bring in some more of the pink because the background is so very blue. So here I go ahead and I add that. Now I'm going to go ahead and get everything glued down. One thing when you're using texture paste is you need to use a lot of glue, and you can't just use ATG. I like to use a mixture of ATG and my Scotch tacky glue, which used to be called Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive. I have a fine liner bottled cap on it. I got that on Amazon. Yes, you can buy just the caps, and then just add a little bit of water because that helps it not get glued shut. So you do need to add extra glue, and the tacky glue does not dry as fast as it normally does. It's all dry now and everything is stuck down. One thing you can do if you like texture paste is use foam adhesive. That works really well. With the photos I had over the texture paste, I didn't want to add emphasis to them because they weren't what I consider the most important photos on the layout. They're just photos of him working on his project. So I didn't want to add foam adhesive behind them because when you have something in the foreground, it automatically makes it feel more important. So I'm just going to let it dry, and I'm going to add some weight to it a little bit and add a little bit of extra glue as I go. So I've also pulled out another rubber charm, and that one says "You Make Me Happy," and I'm going to start gluing things down. I remember I have this 6x12 sticker sheet from that didn't come in the kit. I bought it in her store as extra. I pull that arrow sticker from there, and I'm starting to get the rest of my background layer stuff down. So I get down that "Love Every Minute," I get down my journaling block, I'm going to add more glue to my other photo. I'm just working my way from left to right, getting everything placed down. So getting down my last photo, and I'm going to start working. Actually, I have no idea what I'm going to start doing, so let's watch together. Oh, I'm going to glue down the rubber charm. I know people have had issue with leaving an oily residue. I find if I use a dry tape like my ATG, I haven't had that issue. I went back and looked at a couple of older ones I did last year, and I don't seem to have that problem. I think it's more when you use the liquid glue that occurs. I'm going to choose 3 phrase/word stickers. Believe in yourself. Don't ever change, and then under the photo I'm going to put shine. And then I remember I have these acrylic stars, and I'm going to use those. I assumed I was going to use my enamel dots, but I decided that these stars will work instead, and I was a little annoyed. Not really, but there are 12 stars, so I was trying to figure out a way of using odd number groupings without having one left over, but it wasn't working for me. I ended up using them all. I wasn't gonna, worry about it. So now I'm working on the upper right hand corner cluster, and I'm having trouble. If I put that hello tag to the left of the Dream Big die cut, it seems too horizontal for me. If I put it to the right, it seems to be missing something. So I'm looking for like a longer piece to go underneath that hello sticker, but I don't really have one. So I use this little flag sticker that says here and now, and I'm going to cover up that portion of it, basically just to cheat and elongate that hello piece. And I'm happy with the way that looks, so yay, we're moving on. So I get down that star die cut, and now what are we doing? I think we're going to start placing those acrylic stars, and we are. So I'm just trying to place these in the general area where they'll go. They don't exactly end up exactly where they are now. I tried one star up at the top, and I'm like, no, that looks stupid. And then for some reason I decide, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do the title before I glue down all these stars, which was really dumb because they kind of bounce around and they would stick to the underside of my arm because it's pretty hot and sticky here right now. But I'm going to go ahead and use these Pink Fresh Studio Alphas. They are in copper. They came in the kit. They're super cute. And for my title, I'm also going to use some Webster's Pages New Day Mini Alphas as well for the rest of my title. Those did not come in my kit. Those are just from my stash. Now, I'm not sure where I want the other part of my title, the word Latin, to go, so I put it on my centering ruler. I wasn't really using that to center it. I was just using it so I could see where I liked it best on top of cooking. So my title is going to be The Original Latin Cooking because, it's kind of a play on words. It is not a diss to Latin or Spanish cooking or anything like that. He takes Latin. This was for his school does projects for each of his major core classes, and so they have a classics day, and they have to do something in relation to ancient Rome or ancient Greek times. So he chose to make this bread, which was made during ancient Roman times, along with this. The closest thing I can say it's sort of like pesto, but it's a spread. It's definitely not like something you toss with spaghetti. It's definitely something you'd have to use a knife to spread on the bread. He had to use, I think it's called spelt flour, which we had to get from Whole Foods because it's an ancient grain. He worked really hard on the research for this, and everyone loved the bread. The bread was gone. We had to use an electric knife to cut because it was so dense, because obviously, they didn't have refrigeration or preservatives back then, so you'd have to have a very dense bread for it to last, longer than a day. All right, let's get back to the layout. I've added the rest of my title, and then I'm adding those copper stars that came with the Pink Fresh Studio Alphas, and those are from their Live More line, and I add one in the lower right hand corner, and I am going to add a third on the lower left hand corner of my 4x6 photo. I am just using my Scotch tacky glue to glue down the acrylic stars. Even though some of them are see-through, it dries completely clear. You cannot tell. You cannot see the glue behind it at all, so yay me. I did put one of those blue stars right in the center of that happiness right here, and literally as I'm putting it down, I'm saying, I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but oh well, it's down. Alright, so now it is time to do the journaling, and I need a smaller pen because I
I can't find my mini Sharpie, and I have this cactus pen I got in a grab bag from the Ink Road. I don't know why, but it was in there, so I'm like, well, I'll try it out, see if it writes. It does, it works, it's fine, yay. You know, it's thin enough pen. I really need to get some more pens. I only have my favorite green pen, but it writes on the thicker side, and for sometimes when I need a little small writing, it's not perfect. All right, I am almost finished up here. I am going to add some Heidi Swapp Navy Blue Color Shine. Navy Color Shine to complete my layout, and that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Please flick me a thumbs up if you can, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!